Hey guys, this is Ryan Frankowski and
Kelly Mizgorski.
You're listening to Mocktails Are Messy. Welcome. We are excited to be back in the studio. I'm loving this Chanel blazer you got. Damn.
Thank you.
Where'd you get that?
TJ.
Oh, so it's not a Chanel blazer. It's a little like Maxinista.
Mm-hmm.
I gotcha.
Secret's out.
I know. I mean, it's funny because like me and my mom will actually go shopping and then we'll be like thinking of you. We're like, maybe Kelly would look really good in this.
I appreciate you guys so much.
Right now, we are both mocktailing it. Mm-hmm. You are how many days?
This is day 10.
Day 10 of no alcohol.
Yeah, taking a break, taking a pause. Just for health and wellness, just to feel better, have a clear head.
You kind of seem like you're glowing. I don't know if it's just you're feeling happy, you're working out, but it could be because of the booze.
I think it's all of the above.
What are you drinking today, Kelly?
So it's called Ora Bora. It's banana flavored, but it's 0 sugar, 0 calories.
How does that work?
I don't know. It's some type of witchcraft, I guess.
Yeah. I am drinking the day pack. It is a non-alcoholic hops. It's really good. It's clear. It's clean. It's the same as you. 0 calories, 0 carbohydrates, 0 sugar. It is an A+. I keep saying A+ because that's what the trainer would always say.
You can't beat this. 0 calories, 0 hangover.
0 hangover. I like the sound of that.
Mm-hmm.
We are excited to also discuss a little trip that's coming up.
Well, I'm sad that I'm not joining you.
I know. Why can't you come?
#kids.
Me and my parents are going. It's just going to be a quick little trip. I have a test shoot for athleisure wear, and then also my Penn State girlfriend. Shout out to Pooja.
Hi, Pooja.
She is going to be performing one woman stand-up show. Yes,
Pooja
I believe
something.
that's it.
I follow her on Instagram. She's hilarious.
Pooja's show is called Family Trauma Comedy Hour. Pooja takes her audience on a journey through her life and misfortunes of having an overly protective Indian family.
Ooh, she is so funny.
I know. I feel like it's kind of interesting. Like, we both studied engineering. We're miserable doing that.
Oh, is she an engineer too?
Yeah. We've got a special treat for you as we dive into some exclusive behind-the-scenes footage captured just 2 days right after we wrapped up recording. Get ready for a glimpse into the unfiltered moments of the stand-up special, Family Trauma, with Pooja Something at the Producers Club in New York City.
Graduated college with 2 degrees in 3 years, industrial engineering and print journalism. Just to let you guys know, parents do have their favorites. And if you don't know who it is, it's probably not you. So now, having no daddy issues, it's been really quite a challenge trying to go out and date and have standards. I always find it funny when my white friends talk to me about how social media has been really hard for their mental health. Trolling, and there's a lot of mean comments and everything. Try attending an Indian wedding. Like, only Indians will come up with a way to still be negative while trying to be positive. You look very healthy. You never want to be told you look healthy. Sex. Or the lack of not having it, Franco. It's like I watched all the Sex and the City TV shows to come to New York just to be sexless in the city. The reason I'm not into hookups is because the only gap that's wider than the wage gap between men and women is the orgasm gap. For every dollar a man makes, a woman makes 75 cents. And for every orgasm a man has, the woman has none. So that's the reason I don't really do hookup culture. Not because I have some high morals. Just, and evolve. My family started talking about arranged marriages.
Oh, shit.
Let me explain it to you. It's a good thing, Franco. It's better than dating unemployed people from dating apps. The rate my dating life is going, I'm not ruling out arranged marriages. I also saw profiles where I feel like I've seen these men grow with me.
Aww.
Like, I'm like, oh my god, you went on that Machu Picchu trip you spoke about. Good for you. The only auditions I would be getting were like McDonald's commercials. I didn't want to be a face or a brand that's just so unhealthy. I had standards. And also they didn't pick me. Those of you who do therapy, don't think that you've lost your trigger. You just haven't been with your trigger. I just feel like it's always the people who should go to therapy that don't go to therapy.
Yeah.
And put the rest of us in therapy. I am stuck trying to find my lobster in a sea full of trash.
Aww.
And that is both a reference to the current dating pool and the state of our oceans. I do care about the environment, despite what this red solo cup says. I was quite offended when this person brought over water in this. I was expecting a glass. I was like, this really ruins my brand. After the fall, I just would not shut up. So if anyone's trying to figure out ways on becoming an extrovert, all you have to do is just jump. I want to give an extra shout out to Franco and his family who actually came from Pittsburgh. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So New York, I do want you to be careful. I've been watching like the TikTok news. Multiple women are getting punched in the head, in the face with a blunt object.
Oh my God,
We
I
don't
didn't
know if
know
it's
that.
the same guy. It's really scary. A correlation, if you're a female and you're alone, there's no one else with you, then you're at a higher risk. A lot of these women looking down at their phone when this happened. One was walking their dog. Just don't let your mom go anywhere alone in New York.
Yes,
is what I would say.
You know, I lived there for 5 years. You came to visit me. I felt like it was really safe. Don't you think?
Yeah, it always seemed really safe. But, you know, things like this pop up. You just have to be aware.
Yes. We'll be sure that we keep, the eyes in the back of our head. Another thing that I'm a little bit nervous about going to New York is, the ex had moved there from LA to New York.
So are you going to see your ex?
I think since I have my parents with me, it's probably not going to happen. I think we're going to probably just try to avoid that situation.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's why your parents are going.
You think so? You brought that up to me, and I'm like, I think they just really wanted to see comedy show.
I think
Pooja.
they want to see Pooja, but I think in the back of their mind, they know that if they are there, you're not going to see your ex.
You might be on to something.
You know what? I'm a mom, and I'm just getting the spidey senses.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess being a mom, you are protective over your kids.
Yes.
And I'm sure my parents are as well.
Your parents are so protective.
Yeah, I think that's kind of why whenever everything went south with the relationship, they were like, we're going to help you find a new place. We're going to, whether you need to come back out east or whatnot. On a new positive note, I'm really happy that you are dabbling. I didn't force you to start this, mocktail journey.
You know what? You didn't force me. You inspired me.
Really?
Yes, and that is how you get people on that type of journey. You have to inspire. You can't force someone to do anything.
Yeah, I don't pressure. Like, I did it for myself. I kind of wanted you to be like a reflection of like Mocktail, me, Messy, Kelly, Mary Ellen, and I didn't really necessarily think that you would be jumping on board so quickly.
I didn't either. My messy days, they're not behind me. I'm gonna have some more of those. I'm not trying to be sober, but I am trying to be more mindful.
Yes.
I am focused on health and wellness. And I think, when you're having a hard day, especially as like a stay-at-home mom, it's so easy to just get overwhelmed and like open up a bottle of wine and have a glass or two to calm your nerves. And that's not how I want to utilize alcohol.
Yeah. Right.
And, I always say if you're drinking on the weekends, you're not recharging.
Heck no.
And like these last 9 days, I felt really recharged and like overall happiness is higher.
Yeah, you seem happier.
Yeah, I feel really good. So I'm going to thank you for inspiring me.
Cheers to
Thank
your
you.
Bora Bora and my day
Yes.
pack. I do feel a little placebo
I'm
buzz.
feeling it. Yeah, just having it in the nice glass
Yes,
is
exactly.
really making me feel I'm at happy hour.
I know. And I do want to inspire other people, not in a pressure, forcing, judgmental way. I just know myself, like from going to Penn State, party school, living in New York, living in LA, there's a lot of distractions, and I feel like this kind of really makes me happy, full circle, like to just get back on track and be focused.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow, this is good. So I'd say if you like the banana Laffy Taffies, you would love this.
Oh, so it's not weird?
I'm into it. I'm digging it.
Yeah, I could tell you like it.
Yeah.
I know. I almost like want to try it, but I know that you might.
I did state my food aggression.
Yes, you did in the last episode.
I don't share things. You said something to me that was really inspiring.
Yeah, I said, Kelly, this is about the journey to just create messages and positive experiences with each other and guests, normalizing sobriety movement within a drinking culture.
Right. Now, this is some Pittsburgh news. If you are living Pittsburgh proper, between 3 a.m. and 7 a.m., there's only going to be like about 20 police officers on duty.
What?
So if there's like a robbery or an emergency, it's not guaranteed that they're going to make their way to you.
So basically the city of Pittsburgh does not have a full police department available between 3:30 a.m. and
3 a.m. and 7 a.m.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So if you're a burglar, then go ahead and put like 3 a.m. on your calendar and go ahead and start robbing houses then, because no one's going to come to your beck and call when you're robbed.
Burglarized. Can't imagine not having the police available during those times. Like, wouldn't that be peak times to rob?
In the early hours of the morning is one of the more common times for break-ins and burglaries.
Well, I'm kind of glad that I am not in Pittsburgh proper currently, because, I'm working on that renovation, that apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, I want to move here. But you mentioned today when we were stopping for, our mocktails, you're like, oh, the city stresses me out. I don't know if I could live in the city. I'm glad I'm in the suburbs.
It does stress me out.
Why is that? Is it because you never really lived in a city?
I've never lived in a city, and I think like there's so much going on. I'm noticing people, and I'm hyper fixating on things, and it increases my anxiety. If I'm being honest, like my ideal living situation would be out in the woods on some land, like away from everybody. I get stressed out. I'm an introverted extrovert.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so like I would love to like live in a cabin in the woods and like throw a huge banger party and have a ton of people there and be extroverted, but then I can like be introverted the next day.
Yeah, and just want to read and kind of be away from everybody, not having conversations, small talk.
Now I feel like you're kind of my opposite. I feel like you are into the city life and you're not an introvert at all. You're like an extroverted extrovert.
Well, yes and no. I mean, I do think now that I've become a little bit more mocktail in it, completely sober, it's going to be like 2.5 months right now.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that. However, what you said, being an extroverted extrovert, I feel like now I've become more focused on at a certain hour in the day, after you're done with work, after you're done with meetings, I do really want to just be in my home and just read a book. I don't want to be on the phone. I don't want to be looking at social. I don't want to be reading emails or calling anyone. I'm really now enjoying not being in a relationship and being at home at the end of the day and just reading a book.
You're in your self-healing era right now. And I respect that.
Yeah. I know this is kind of switching gears again, but that event that we attended, the cohort, the platform, think we were one of very few podcasts there, and we got a lot of great feedback from content creators, brand representatives wanting to be featured on our show.
Oh, we do have a lot of good things coming. I'm really excited for us to share
I know.
all of our guests that we do have booked.
You know, what do you want to accomplish in this next month? You know, we're getting closer to spring. What's your goals?
Hot mom summer.
What does that mean?
You know what? My baby just turned 6 months old, and I'm starting to get my own identity back again.
Yes.
Take some time. I want to really feel like I'm having a hot mom summer when I'm chasing my kids around the kiddie pool. It's a vibe for that to happen, and I'm just now starting to feel like I can focus on myself a little bit more. So I've started a workout routine. I'm practicing, mindful drinking, taking more of a pause, not just kind of drinking whenever.
No, it's just so acceptable in society. Like, you have a celebration, cheers, or like, going to an event, it's like there's drinks, it's like cheers. Celebrations are all we're consuming with this like one thing, and it's alcohol.
You know what? It's really nice to have a change of pace and pull back on it. And I think the media really like brainwashes people and pushes the alcohol thing at them.
Yeah.
I was watching The Bachelor, last night, and I was thinking to myself, like, I'd really like to have a glass of wine, like, while I watch this.
Yes.
Because, if they're drinking on the show, then I kind of want to, like, join in on the fun.
Yeah.
So, like, that was an obstacle last night. I had to tell myself, like, no, like, that's not being mindful.
Exactly. I did the same thing when I would watch Beverly Hills Housewives or even any Housewives. They just like pump in the drinks.
The Housewives. Yeah, that gets me too.
Yeah, like you just are like, oh, they're having skinny margaritas. I want a skinny margarita. Or what? They're having wine. It's like, the dinner party revolves around getting a little messy.
Yes.
And it can be fun.
It can be.
I think the thing is, it's just like that becomes like so common for their content on the show. And I think there's one housewife in particular, or an ex-housewife, Leah McSweeney, who touches on, I don't know what to believe. Like, she said that it was really an unhealthy environment for her because she was trying to get sober, and they were just surrounded by a lot of messy behavior and housewives and alcohol and producers kind of encouraging the cast to drink more and more.
Well, props to Kyle Richards then for getting sober while filming.
Yeah.
That's very impressive, because I could see how it would be difficult to get sober in that environment.
Yeah. I don't know if you were able to get a chance to see her weed dinner.
I did. I saw that one.
What did you think of Denise Richards? She looked really like tanked.
Yeah.
I mean, it was funny. I'm like, wow, she has no clue. I mean, she might have had a few cocktails, or she was like stoned for sure before that dinner.
I don't know. Like, I'm going to listen to my mama. If I don't have anything nice to say, I'm not going to say anything at all.
Oh, okay. This is like the new mocktail version of Kelly. You used to get a little, spitfire before.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling a little more tamed.
Yes.
But I still have the placebo effect. I feel great.
Yeah, I do feel happier. I think in some ways, like, I saw this billboard with, I think it was Dolly Parton, and it says, find the kindness in everyone. Find the kindness in everyone. And it was really one of those moments where I was like thinking of a specific individual and getting a little angry because of their behavior, and how I just want to like shake them and be like, hey, you gotta stop being so whatever, nuts or crazy or out, like just delusional. And so then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna find the kindness in this person. I'm gonna just stop with my pessimistic thoughts or, issues with them. And that was like a pivotal moment that just, I needed a good reminder.
I think when people are not being kind, I always give them grace, because if happy people don't hurt others.
Yes.
So if they must be going through a very hard time to be lashing out on others. And I've dealt with mental health issues myself. I've gone through hard times myself, as everyone else in this world has.
Yeah, you can't lie and say you've never experienced something.
No. So like I've just been giving everybody in my life grace. If someone, cuts me off on the street while I'm driving, or like honks their horn at me for seemingly no reason, or someone gets angry with me, I don't even react anymore.
Right.
And
it
doesn't even affect me.
When did you start to notice a change in you? Because I remember you were a little bit more of like aggressive.
Yeah, I used to be very aggressive. Once I had children, I realized that in order to protect them, I have to, protect myself as well. And lashing out, being aggressive isn't the way.
No, it's not very becoming of somebody that, not only just a mother, but just being in your 30s and growing up, getting out of your 20s. I think we're having that, evolvement right now, just entering in our early to mid 30s, and I think that's something that I'm realizing, like, I want so much more out of life than just to like have a good time, or just to like, judge somebody very quickly because, I've never experienced that. It's like you kind of realize even to this day that the people that are behaving, out of control or angry, they probably are going through something inside.
Yeah, you truly never know what somebody else is going through. I remember after I had my baby 6 months ago, we were on our way home from the hospital. We were new to the area because we just moved here.
Yeah.
And we're taking a new way. So we have our newborn in the back, and we don't really understand like the road. Sometimes you got to live somewhere for a while to understand how the traffic flows. And we're at this intersection where it's just a stop sign, and then the opposing traffic does not have a stop sign, and there's this guy like screaming at us, honking his horn, freaking out. He wants us to go, but it's like we have some precious cargo in the back. We're new to the area. I'm recovering from a C-section. We're being as cautious and careful as possible, and like he's yelling at us, and he has no idea what we're going through and what's happening in our lives and in our minds, that we're new to the area, and like we can't see like the traffic that's coming because it's a tricky intersection. And in hindsight, maybe we could have like inched out and like gotten out of the situation, but he's just like freaking out on us. And it's like my first initial reaction would have been to get angry and been like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? But I just realized, I'm going through a really hard time right now, but if he's acting like this, he's going through a worse time. Like, I might be sitting here recovering from a C-section in my car, taking the first drive with my newborn. It's really stressful, but whatever he's going through must be worse.
It's very insightful. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
It takes, time to really figure out that and give people grace.
Yeah, it does take time. It takes maturity.
Yeah.
And I definitely did not have maturity, that type of maturity, say like 4 or 5 years ago, but
I like that.
Yeah.
I could tell you're definitely changed since your children. I mean, like, you're the same friend, the same daughter, but you're definitely so much more in control of your emotions. And
when I started thinking about having children is when I started to do the self-work.
So now that you're a mother, how would you advise me when I have this person that's kind of like pushing me to explore OnlyFans as a talent for OnlyFans. I have somebody that is actually encouraging me to do that. I know my mother would say, absolutely not. Hell no.
Yeah, so I actually am a little different. I don't judge.
Yes.
So, like, if that's what you want to do, I support you.
I mean, I honestly had no ever interest in it. I always thought it was like, oh, that seems like a lot of money for somebody to be doing on OnlyFans. And then I guess I kind of like have just been hearing like more and more people getting involved with the platform, and it's like I think they were just trying to, simply make money from being sexy or being like, provocative or whatever it may be.
I support it. I just think if you're going to do it with your whole heart. Yeah.
I guess that you can't really run for like any political office if you have an OnlyFans.
No, but is that your interest?
Not political office.
Like not in a million years, right?
No. I mean, I definitely like to be like, a little provocative, sexy, but I just don't know. Like it just kind of came out of nowhere. Like I was speaking with a photographer that I used to work for in New York, and they were just like, oh my God, you'd be so great. Like I work with these like content creators that like, kind of started out like just being influencers and then switching over into like, doing like OnlyFans content creation. I think it might be a little too far off of our brand message.
You know what? It's something to sit and think about. I do want to hear about Zaddy.
Oh, yeah. The one that actually saw one of our episodes.
Yeah,
this guy,
you told me you were going to tell me about this.
Yeah, this guy, he reached out. He saw one of our episodes on YouTube, then kind of followed us, and then started messaging, sliding into the DMs, and he's like works in production in Atlanta, and was like, hey, I want to fly you out here, like, set you up at like a nice place to stay, and then we could get dinner, and I'd love to learn more about the podcast. And I was just like, what do you think? I mean, it sounds like it's just like asking for a hookup. He's trying to ask me to come down south and get a little.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it for just a hookup.
No.
It's like you don't want to just fly out to hook up with a fanboy. A fan zaddy.
I know.
So like, I don't know, there's got to be something in it for you.
Right. Like a meeting. Like they claimed that it was like just like for like a meeting for like learn more about the podcast and all this stuff. I'm almost like, can I see your resume? Can I see your credentials? Like what exactly do you really have an interest? Like I'm not an idiot. Like I clearly know that they just want to like go out to dinner and see what happens. But I just think you have to be careful.
You have to be careful, yes.
I'm just trying to focus on like real estate, podcasting, my design certification. Like there's just so many things. Like I feel like I could be working like 80 hours a week just on like educating myself within these industries and work.
Oh, I know.
You know what I mean? Like we both have a similar like interest in real estate. I mean, you've always been kind of into the fitness training. I've always liked to be a client, but there was that inspiration at one point where I was working with a trainer and they're like, oh my God, you'd be such a good trainer. And I'm like, I don't know. Like from your perspective, do you like to be the personal trainer or the client?
Both. Oh my gosh, both. So when I was a personal trainer, I absolutely loved it. It was my favorite job of all time.
Yes.
But I loved being trained as well, because when you're being trained, you obviously push yourself a little bit harder than when you're by yourself. So I like both.
Yeah, I feel like I really want to work out with you and get like, the full circuit training.
I want to train you.
Yeah, I feel like this would be a great bartering service, I could be.
Well, what's in it for me? I mean, I'll give you a bomb ass workout. What do I get out of it? A hot friend, I guess.
I don't know. I need to come up with something I could barter with you, because you already have your cousin who's your interior designer.
What do you have to offer me?
I don't know. Maybe I'll be your man.
Stylist.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
personal or fashion, you
Yes.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll hook you up. I've been picking out some outfits for you. I mean,
You have.
I've always liked that, but I even know myself, like I've kind of required people to help me out. I don't know. I feel like I'm like a jack of all trades, but a master in I don't know. I was working in interior design. I still am like, kind of perfecting that craft. I mean, it's kind of like a fake it till you make it type of situation.
You know what? I think you have a natural talent, and I'm excited to see where you do go with it. Thank you for listening to
Mocktails or Messy. Cheers.